We all solve problems every single day. It's just part of life. But are we solving the right problems? Today, we're going to talk about how to get off that hamster wheel of fixing the same issues over and over and start building solutions that actually last. Seriously, think about it for a second, that one annoying issue at work that just won't die, or that little problem at home that keeps cropping up. It feels like you're just running in circles, right? It's so frustrating. Well, what if I told you there's a very specific reason this happens, and a surprisingly simple way to break the cycle for good? The thing is, most of us are stuck in what you could call the firefighting trap. A problem flares up, that's the fire, and we rush in, hoses blazing, to put it out. And for a minute, it feels great, we solved it, but all we really did was handle the immediate crisis. We never stopped to ask, what started the fire in the first place? And that all but guarantees it's going to flare up again. Okay, this right here is the big aha moment. It's the huge difference between a symptom and a root cause. See, we're naturally drawn to the symptom. That's the loud, visible what that's causing all the trouble. But the real power, the real solution, is in finding the root cause, the quiet, hidden why. One is just a quick fix, a band-aid, while the other creates real, lasting change. So let's just get the official definitions down. A symptom is basically just a signpost. It's a clue that points to something else being wrong. But the root cause, that's the first domino in the chain. It's the actual source of the problem that eventually leads to the symptom you're seeing. And this is exactly what happens when you only focus on that symptom. This cartoon just nails it, doesn't it? You might think you're fixing one problem, but you're actually just creating a much, much bigger one down the road. These kinds of short-term patches are pretty much the blueprint for some spectacular long-term failures. All right, so we get it. We need to dig deeper. But how do you actually do that? I mean, how do we get past the obvious stuff and find what's really going on? Well, lucky for us, there's a simple and honestly incredibly powerful tool that anyone can use. And here it is. Meet your new problem-solving superpower, the 5 whys. The absolute genius of this is how simple it is. You just state the problem you're seeing, and then, like a really persistent toddler, you just keep asking why. Each answer you come up with becomes the jumping-off point for the next why, peeling back the layers of the onion until you finally get to the core. And you can kind of see how it works here. Your first why or two, they're probably just going to uncover more symptoms, the stuff that's still on the surface. But the real magic, the real answers, happen when you push past those. You've got to keep drilling down, because the biggest mistake people make is they stop asking why way too soon. Now, to show you just how surprisingly deep a root cause can be, I've got a fantastic story. And I know this question sounds completely random, but trust me, it's probably one of the best examples out there of how a tiny decision from centuries ago can still be shaping our world today. So here's the puzzle. The standard distance between railroad tracks in the United States, and in much of the world actually, is this super specific number, 4 feet, 8.5 inches. I mean, it's not a nice round 5 feet, it's not a simple metric number. Why on earth that exact measurement? All right, let's put our new tool to the test. Why number 1? Why that gauge? Well, because the early US railroads were built by English engineers, and they used the English standard. Okay, makes sense. Why number 2? Why did the English use it? Because the very first railways were built by the same guys who had built wagon tramways, and they just used the same tools they already had. But hold on, we're not there yet. Why number 3? Why did the wagons have that specific wheel spacing? Well, because the roads all over England had these deep ruts in them, and if your wagon wheels didn't fit in those ruts, they'd break. So, who made those old roads? This is where it gets wild. They were built by Imperial Rome for their armies, and the ruts themselves, they were first carved into the earth by Roman war chariots. And there it is, the incredible, unbelievable root cause. Those Roman war chariots were built just wide enough to accommodate the back ends of 2 war horses side by side. So yeah, the standard for America's modern high-tech railroad system was determined 2,000 years ago by the width of a horse's butt. Isn't that an amazing story? And it proves such a critical point. The real root cause is almost never where you think it is. It can be very deep, hidden by years of history and assumptions. To be a real problem solver, you have to be willing to be a bit of a detective, to dig way past the obvious. I just love this quote. It sums everything up so perfectly. Symptoms scream for our attention. They're noisy, they're urgent, they're right there in your face. But the root causes? They're usually quiet, they're hidden, and you have to go looking for them on purpose. So I'll just leave you with this thought. The next time you're facing a problem, any problem at all, are you going to reach for that quick fix and just silence the loud symptom? Or are you going to take a breath, ask why a few times, and go on a hunt for that quiet, hidden cause? The choice, as they say, is yours.